Imagine living in a country where healthcare is practically free, where you don't have to stress about paying income taxes, and where the government genuinely takes care of your housing, your education, and even your fuel prices. Sounds almost too good to be true, right? Well, for the people of Brunei Darussalam, this is everyday life. Brunei may be small, just over 400,000 people in total, but it's one of the wealthiest nations on Earth per capita, thanks to its vast oil and gas reserves. But the wealth isn't only concentrated in the government or the elite. It flows directly into the daily lives of Bruneian citizens, shaping a lifestyle that many Americans might find almost unimaginable. Now let's be clear, every country has its pros and cons. The United States is known for its opportunities, diversity, and global influence. But today, we're focusing on what makes being a Bruneian citizen uniquely advantageous compared to life in America. So let's dive into the first 20 perks of life in Brunei, and specifically the first 5 that really stand out. Advantage number 1, no personal income tax. One of the most jaw-dropping benefits of being a Bruneian citizen is the complete absence of personal income tax. Imagine working hard, earning your salary, and keeping 100% of it in your pocket without the government taking a single cent. In the US, taxes can take away a significant portion of your income. Federal income tax rates range from 10% to as high as 37%. And then you also have state taxes, Social Security contributions, Medicare, and more. For middle-class Americans, it's normal to see 20 to 30% of their salary vanish before they even touch it. In Brunei, this simply doesn't happen. People still contribute to social programs, but the government's massive oil and gas revenues mean ordinary citizens don't need to shoulder the tax burden. The result? Bruneians can save more, invest more, or simply enjoy more of what they earn. For Americans, this might sound like a fantasy, but in Brunei, it's just reality. Advantage number 2, free healthcare. Healthcare in Brunei is almost entirely free for citizens. Whether you're seeing a doctor for a checkup, undergoing surgery, or even staying in the hospital, the costs are heavily subsidized or completely covered by the government. Now compare that with the US, where healthcare is one of the biggest financial stress factors. Even with insurance, American families pay thousands of dollars in premiums, deductibles, and co-pays every year. Without insurance, a single hospital visit can bankrupt you. In Brunei, a citizen can walk into a public hospital, get treated, and walk out without the crushing anxiety of medical bills. This not only improves quality of life, but also encourages people to actually seek medical help when they need it, rather than avoiding it due to costs, a huge difference from the American experience. Advantage number 3. Education in Brunei is also free or very low cost for citizens, all the way from primary school to university. But the benefits go even further. Brunei is known for offering government-funded scholarships for citizens to study abroad. That means a Bruneian student might attend a top university in the UK, Australia, or elsewhere, with full financial support from their government. Compare that with the US, where student loan debt is a massive crisis. Millions of Americans spend decades paying back tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands, of dollars in student loans. For many Bruneians, that burden doesn't exist. Education is seen as an investment in the nation's future, not as a personal financial burden. And that's a mindset many Americans wish their government would adopt. Advantage number 4, exceptionally low crime rates. Safety is something that people often take for granted until they don't have it. In Brunei, crime rates are remarkably low. Violent crimes, theft, and large-scale drug problems are rare compared to many parts of the world, including the US and the United States. Crime rates vary widely depending on where you live, but gun violence, property crime, and urban safety remain pressing issues. Bruneians, on the other hand, enjoy a sense of security that allows families to live with less fear and stress. This safety net contributes to peace of mind and an overall higher quality of life. Parents don't have to constantly worry about their kids walking to school or playing outside, something that's not always guaranteed in American cities. Advantage number 5. Government housing assistance. Another huge perk is the housing assistance Bruneians receive from the government. Through programs like the National Housing Scheme, citizens can apply for affordable homes built and subsidized by the government. In some cases, citizens even receive land on which to build their own houses. Housing affordability is a major crisis in the United States. In many cities, rent eats up half or more of a family's income. Buying a home has become nearly impossible for younger generations without massive loans. Bruneians, however, benefit from policies that make home ownership realistic and attainable, ensuring stability for families across generations. This focus on providing affordable, stable housing greatly reduces homelessness, which is a persistent and heartbreaking issue in the U.S. And that wraps up our first 5 advantages of being a Bruneian citizen. From keeping all of your paycheck, to never stressing about medical bills, to actually having a chance at affordable housing, Brunei sets itself apart in ways that would feel revolutionary to many Americans. But we're only just getting started. In the next section, we'll dive into more unique perks, from cheap gasoline to scholarships abroad, that make life in Brunei truly one of a kind. Advantage number 6, fuel subsidies and cheap gasoline. If you've ever complained about gas prices, you'll be shocked at how little Bruneians pay at the pump. Thanks to government subsidies, fuel prices in Brunei are among the lowest in the entire world. Imagine filling up your car for just a fraction of what it costs in the United States. For context, American drivers often see gas prices fluctuate wildly, from as low as $2.50 a gallon to well over $5 in some states. In Brunei, however, prices are stable and heavily subsidized, allowing citizens to travel and commute without worrying about draining their wallets. This isn't just about convenience, it affects the whole economy. Cheap fuel keeps transportation costs down, which means lower prices for goods, cheaper commutes, and more financial breathing room for ordinary families. For Bruneians, the phrase "pain at the pump" just doesn't exist. Advantage number 7. A debt-free, resource-rich economy. Brunei operates with one of the most financially stable governments in the world. Thanks to its oil and gas exports, the state doesn't carry the kind of massive debt burden seen in countries like the United States. The U.S. national debt has soared past $30 trillion, and it's growing every day. This creates constant political debates, potential risks for future generations, and the possibility of economic instability. In contrast, Brunei's wealth allows the government to operate without leaning heavily on loans or massive taxation. This financial independence translates directly into citizen benefits. Bruneians get free healthcare, subsidized education, and housing support because their government isn't drowning in debt. It's operating with real, tangible wealth. The sense of security that comes from knowing your country is financially stable is something Americans rarely get to feel. Advantage number 8. High life expectancy and quality of life. Brunei's citizens enjoy one of the highest life expectancies in Southeast Asia, averaging around 75 to 77 years. This is thanks to strong healthcare systems, low crime rates, and a generally less stressful lifestyle compared to many developed nations. In the United States, life expectancy has actually declined in recent years due to issues like drug overdoses, obesity, and limited access to affordable healthcare. Many Americans live under constant financial and health stress, which inevitably shortens lifespans and reduces quality of life. In Brunei, with free healthcare, stable housing, and subsidized essentials, people have the freedom to focus on living well rather than simply surviving. Families spend more time together, and citizens enjoy the benefits of a healthier, safer environment. Advantage number 9, generous welfare and social assistance. For Bruneian citizens, the safety net provided by the government is extensive. Families receive assistance for raising children. The elderly are supported through pensions, and people who face financial hardship can rely on government programs to help them get back on their feet. In the United States, social assistance exists, but it is often limited, stigmatized, and difficult to access. Welfare benefits vary dramatically by state, and many Americans fall through the cracks, especially the working poor who earn too much to qualify for aid but not enough to survive comfortably. In Brunei, welfare isn't just about helping the poor. It's about ensuring stability for everyone. Whether it's food assistance, housing help, or direct financial aid during hard times, citizens know their government has their back. This level of security creates a society with much less visible poverty than what you might see in American cities. Advantage number 10, strong social cohesion and community values. Living in Brunei also means being part of a close-knit society. With a small population and a shared cultural foundation rooted in Malay Islamic traditions, Bruneians experience a sense of community that is harder to find in large, diverse, and sometimes divided countries like the United States. In the US, cultural diversity is one of its greatest strengths, but it can also lead to fragmentation, political polarization, and a sense of disconnection. People often identify more with their political party or social group than with the nation as a whole. Brunei, on the other hand, maintains a strong national identity. Community events, religious practices, and government initiatives all reinforce the idea of unity. Families often live close together, neighbors know each other, and the sense of belonging is strong. For citizens, this translates to emotional well-being, stronger support networks, and an overall feeling of being part of something greater than themselves. Advantage number 11, free land for housing. One of the most remarkable perks of being a Bruneian citizen is access to free or subsidized land for housing. Through the Landless Indigenous Citizens Housing Scheme, many Bruneians can receive plots of land directly from the government. These lands are often large enough to build a family home, and in some cases, multiple generations can live together on one property. Now, contrast that with the housing situation in the United States. Owning land is expensive, and property values, especially in big cities, are skyrocketing. Young Americans are often priced out of homeownership, forced to rent for decades while trying to save for a down payment that seems forever out of reach. For Bruneians, land ownership isn't an impossible dream. It's a realistic, government-supported opportunity. This policy doesn't just provide shelter, it builds generational wealth, stability, and pride. Families can pass homes down to their children, ensuring that no one falls into homelessness or crushing debt. Advantage number 12, affordable utilities and living costs. Another massive advantage is the low cost of utilities in Brunei. Electricity, water, and other basic services are heavily subsidized. Monthly utility bills are often just a fraction of what Americans pay for the same services. Think about it. In the US, utility bills can be hundreds of dollars every month. Add to that rising rents, expensive healthcare, and student loan payments, and many families feel like they're always struggling to stay afloat. In Brunei, utilities are kept intentionally affordable so that citizens can focus on living their lives rather than stressing over bills. Lower living costs mean people can save money, invest in their future, or spend more on experiences and family life instead of watching their paychecks vanish into endless expenses. Advantage number 13, direct access to leadership. This one might surprise you. In Brunei, citizens actually have more direct access to their national leadership, especially the Sultan. Known for his generosity and personal involvement, Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah often provides direct aid to individuals and communities in need. Citizens can petition the government and sometimes even appeal directly to the Sultan himself for help during hardships. Compare that to the United States. While Americans technically have representatives and local leaders, the system is so large and bureaucratic that ordinary citizens rarely get direct attention. Letters to senators often go unanswered, and personal appeals to presidents are practically impossible. In Brunei, the relationship between leadership and citizens feels more personal, almost like a guardian role. This closeness builds trust between the government and the people, something that many Americans feel has been lost in their own system. Advantage number 14, strong cultural identity and pride. Brunei's citizens share a deep connection to their culture, rooted in Malay Islamic traditions. This strong cultural identity provides a sense of stability and belonging. From national celebrations to everyday customs, Bruneians experience a lifestyle that ties them closely to their history and values. In the United States, cultural diversity is a great strength, but it can also be a source of division. Different groups often clash over values, traditions, or political beliefs. Many Americans feel disconnected from a unifying identity, with debates about what it even means to be American. Bruneians, however, are united under a common culture that emphasizes community, respect, and tradition. This shared foundation provides citizens with a sense of belonging that strengthens both families and society as a whole. Advantage number 15, minimal homelessness and poverty. One of the most visible differences between Brunei and the United States is the issue of homelessness. In Brunei, thanks to housing assistance, welfare programs, and cultural support systems, homelessness is almost non-existent. Contrast this with America, where homelessness is a heartbreaking crisis. Tens of thousands of people sleep on the streets in cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco, and New York. Despite the country's wealth, many Americans slip through the cracks, unable to afford housing or healthcare. In Brunei, citizens don't live with this fear. Housing programs ensure that families have roofs over their heads, and welfare assistance prevents poverty from spiraling into destitution. It's a safety net that gives Bruneians peace of mind, knowing that no matter what happens, they won't be abandoned by their government. Advantage number 16, low cost of essential goods. When you walk into a grocery store in Brunei, you don't feel the same kind of financial anxiety that many Americans face. Thanks to subsidies and government regulation, the prices of essential goods like rice, sugar, and cooking oil are kept low and stable. For many families in the United States, groceries are one of the biggest monthly expenses, and prices can swing wildly due to inflation, supply chain issues, or even global conflicts. A sudden jump in gas prices can send food costs soaring across the country. In Brunei, these basic necessities remain affordable, ensuring that families don't have to sacrifice nutrition for financial survival. The idea is simple. No one should go hungry in a nation blessed with wealth. This government commitment to affordability creates peace of mind that is priceless. Advantage number 17, the Sultan's support in times of need. One unique element of life in Brunei is the Sultan's personal role as a guardian figure. Beyond formal welfare systems, Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah is known for providing direct aid during natural disasters, national emergencies, or even personal crises. There are countless stories of citizens receiving unexpected help, whether it's financial support, emergency housing, or even scholarships for deserving students. This kind of direct, visible generosity strengthens the bond between leadership and the people. Compare this to the US, where aid during disasters is often tied up in bureaucracy, long approval processes, and political debates. Many Americans feel abandoned by their leaders in times of crisis. In Brunei, citizens know their monarch is actively looking out for them, which builds loyalty and trust. Advantage number 18, environmental preservation and clean living. Brunei is blessed with some of the most pristine rainforests in Southeast Asia, and the government has made conscious efforts to protect them. In fact, around 70% of Brunei's land area is covered in forest, much of it protected from deforestation. This means Bruneians enjoy cleaner air, abundant green spaces, and access to natural beauty right in their backyard. Environmental health directly translates into personal well-being, lower pollution levels, more biodiversity, and a higher overall quality of life. In the United States, industrialization and urban sprawl have caused significant environmental damage. Air pollution, contaminated water sources, and shrinking natural spaces are common issues. While the U.S. has national parks and conservation areas, the pressure of development often wins out over preservation. For Bruneians, the balance is different. Their nation prioritizes environmental health, ensuring that future generations inherit not just wealth, but a clean and livable environment. Advantage number 19, strong family values and social support. Life in Brunei revolves heavily around family. Extended families often live close together, sometimes even on the same plot of land provided by the government. This close-knit structure means that children grow up surrounded by grandparents, uncles, aunts, and cousins, an environment of constant care and support. In the United States, the culture of independence and mobility often pulls families apart. Many young adults move far away from home for work or study, and elderly parents are frequently placed in retirement homes. While independence has its strengths, it also creates loneliness and weakens family bonds. In Brunei, family is seen as a lifelong support system. This cultural value, combined with government programs, ensures that no one is left isolated or forgotten. Strong family ties create emotional security and community stability, enriching the lives of citizens in ways money alone can't buy. Conclusion. So there you have it. 20 incredible advantages of being a Bruneian citizen that Americans simply don't have. Let's recap briefly. No income tax, free healthcare and education, subsidized fuel, housing, and utilities, a stable, debt-free economy, low crime rates and minimal homelessness, strong family bonds, cultural identity, and environmental preservation. And perhaps most importantly, a government and monarch that actively look out for their people. Now, of course, Brunei isn't a perfect country. No nation is. The United States offers opportunities, freedoms, and diversity that are unmatched in many ways. But when it comes to security, affordability, and peace of mind, Brunei's citizens enjoy privileges that would leave many Americans in awe. At the end of the day, this comparison teaches us something valuable. Quality of life isn't just about wealth, it's about how wealth is shared. Brunei shows the world that when a nation invests in its citizens, everyone benefits. So, what do you think? Would you trade the American hustle for Brunei's stability? Or do you believe the US still has the better deal overall? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more content, and share this video with a friend who's curious about life beyond America. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.